welcome to Wrestling Showdown Rewind here on the W3L network, just like it is every Sunday at 12 o'clock. I'm sure you know that by now. If you've not hit subscribe, then please do so, because you'll be notified every Sunday at 12 when we put out another edition of Rewind, or indeed we put out anything on the W3L network. For example, we put out another edition of Mike Musso's Bitter Truth podcast, where he and Kieran Swinney went in depth about the inaugural Resolution event. It's well worth a listen. It's up on the network. Check that out. They'll be doing other ones in the future, I have no doubt. And of course, if you want to watch the inaugural Resolution event, you can view it via the W3L box office. Just go to that there web address. There's a whole bunch of live events, compilations of documentary, all available for you to watch via digital download. It's going to tide you over until we can bring you live pro wrestling, and currently it's not looking like it's going to be any time soon, but fingers crossed. These are the dates we currently have penciled in. Remember, they were originally scheduled for last year. We've had to reschedule them 2 or 3 times since, and may need to be rescheduled again. We'll see how things go. This is what we're working with. If you bought tickets for these events originally, they will remain valid. You will not miss out. Keep those tickets, it'll be fine. This is what we currently have on the schedule. Hopefully can bring you more cool wrestling as soon as we possibly can. When we are back up and running, of course, with live events, we'll have Crafty Connoisseur as our live event sponsor, and they are still active. The web store's always open, so even though you're locked down and are not really meant to leave the house, get in touch with Crafty. They will send something straight to your door. They can even do remote virtual tastings. Check out their website and all their social media for special offers and more details on that. Make a purchase. Tell them that we said hello, and if you're going to be making a purchase, why not arm yourself with a really cool W3L t-shirt. The Wrestling Soldier t-shirt's been selling really well. A whole bunch of them have. Lots of wrestlers have individual shirts. There's so many up there for you to get. It's almost too difficult to pick one. So don't pick 2 or 3 or 4. You can never have too many t-shirts. Trust me, I have to say that firsthand. Get as many of these t-shirts as you can. Show your support for W3L and your favourite W3L stars. And if you've got a spare couple of pounds, chuck it in our direction via a fan support package. The minimum amount is £5. Prices escalate upwards, something to suit every budget. You're going to get DVDs, signed posters, ringside tickets, and of course an exclusive video message from a W3L star of your choice. It's entirely up to you. Make a purchase from the website. I'll tell you more on that in a bit. But first, let's get to this week's match. Now, we've seen a couple of cracking battles here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind over the weeks and months that we've been doing it. We've seen some historic contests, and this week is another one of the famous W3L matches from history. In this particular contest, W3L management from the March of 2012 took 2 members of the wrestling community, former W3L roster members no longer working for W3L, picked them against each other and said the winner would be rehired. Now, on one side of the ring we had El Technico. We saw him just a couple of weeks ago here against Matsuo Kazuma in the infamous loser gets deported match. Technico was technically booted out of the country. He was gone for well over a year, and of course W3L management gave him the opportunity to potentially come back, but to do that he's got to get past Simply the Best David Panis. He's not been around since Mike Musso sent him hightailing on the end of that unsanctioned loser leaves town match. One of these men would get rehired by W3L, but which one would it be? Well, there's only one way for us to find out. Let's get down to ringside for the historic winner gets rehired contest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown Rewind, and we're going back to the March of 2012 for another one of the most historic matches in W3L history. This is the winner gets rehired contest. El Technico there in the orange and black taking on Simply the Best David Paris. This is the first time we've seen Paris on Rewind, or indeed on Wrestling Showdown of any kind, but he is one of the most notorious figures in all of W3L history, and of course the object of this match is that whoever wins it will be rehired by the Worldwide Wrestling League. There's a lock up on Paris, just getting the advantage. He is the much more experienced man with a good 6 years or so edge over El Technico, who we saw on Rewind 2 weeks ago taking on Matsuo Kazuma.
in the historic loser gets deported match in August of 2010. Of course, El Technico and Kazuma had been feuding at that point. This was the way to settle it, and it was Technico that lost and was indeed deported from the UK, as Paris getting the advantage in the corner again. Oh, Technico a bit too quick though, and retaliates by slapping him in the face. So it's August of 2010 that Technico had last been part of W3L, and Paris had been going since the February of 2011. And at this event here, as Paris runs through Technico, that shoulder block, management decided that they'd give both of these men a contract for one match only, this being it, and the winner would get rehired. And Technico, what a lovely move into the monkey flip. And David Paris, don't know how much studying he's done on El Technico, not a lot I'm guessing, but he's been sent to the floor of that clothesline, and Technico showing that he has not spent his time away from W3L idly. And indeed, when he was deported, he went off to Australia, and for most of 2011 he competed for the Australasian Wrestling Federation, so hello to them if they're watching this contest. And there he faced many of their top stars, the likes of TNT, likes of Mick Moretti, Iron J. Coles, Powerhouse Theo. What a dive over the top rope, and wipes out Paris. He has upped his game. Watch that match from 2 weeks ago against Kazuma, watch this one, and you will see the difference. El Technico so much better than he was back then. He had a long feud with Jack Tasman, and in December of 2011 he lost a loser leaves town match to him, and of course that meant he was out of the AWF. And then this match from the March of 2012 came up. He returned to the UK. I believe he's here on a brief working visa as Paris being introduced to the top turnbuckles. And of course the winner of this match will be rehired to W3L, and the loser will be ousted yet again. And Paris is all over the place. I mean, he started strong with those lockups, but El Technico has just shown his mettle and how much he's improved. And oh, Paris gets him with the hot shot right across those tight ropes of W3L ring. Now Paris, I mentioned he's a notorious figure in W3L history, and he truly is. He and Mike Musso used to be very, very close. They would train together under the learning tree of Jake the Snake Roberts, and so both men kind of started roughly around the same time. And he debuted for W3L back at Resurrection 2005, and he would compete for W3L on and off over the next few years, as he just hammers away at Technico in the corner. A big chop seems shaking off his hand, that's how much it hurt him. He comes charging in and crashes into El Technico. We're going to get a bulldog now. That's exactly what it is. Wait, Paris going for the cover. Remember, the winner gets rehired by W3L. There's going to be neither of these men just yet. Paris, former heavyweight champion. In the June of 2009 he won the heavyweight title of Summer Fever, because he then started his legendary feud with Mike Musso. It's still talked about even to this day, but would drop the heavyweight title to Musso at Resolution 3 back in September of 2009. He then won it back from Musso at Remedy in the March of 2010, but then lost it the next day as he rakes Technico's eyes on the top rope. Not sure how effective that is when you're wearing a mask, because I'm pretty sure that's protected Technico's eyes, but it may have misaligned the mask, so maybe he can't see quite as well. So he goes for the cover off the back of that body slam, not waiting around as David Paris. Resolution 4, the October 2010, was a last man standing match where David Paris beat Mike Musso. It was an extremely controversial match. I'm not going into the reasons why just now, but if you've seen it you'll know what I mean, as Paris dumps down Technico. You can see why he called himself simply the best, can't you? And look, yet again goes for a cover, not wasting any time. Yes, he took a moment or two to congratulate himself before going for that cover, but after every big move he's trying to pin Technico. Imagine if Paris gets rehired. What would he and Musso end up doing as Technico? Oh, beautiful body press, and Paris tried to hold him and couldn't. He tried to hold Technico and could not do it. And right in the face with that super kick. I mentioned it was the February 2011 that Paris was last in W3L, and it was. That's when Mike Musso defeated him in an unsanctioned loser leaves town match at Remedy. Again, another crazy match that seemingly ended the feud as he goes for yet another cover again between Musso and Paris. But of course Paris has been trying to inveigle his way back into W3L. I know he'd love to needle Mike Musso some more, and management deciding to rehire Paris and Technico for one match. They don't work here right now at this moment in time, but of course the winner will be given a contract as soon as his match is over. No, Paris saying he's back. He seems confident. He's slowing the fall up and kneeling on Technico. That's the weakest pinfall attempt he's made so far. Surely he didn't expect that was going to net him a solid result, did it? Oh, Technico shot through there with that sunset flip, and Paris tried to fight it but ends up going down and just gets out of it. Again, he debuted around the 2004 mark, and Technico was in 2010, so there is a discrepancy. But Technico, his time in Australia has really benefited him, and he's really got a lot better, as you can see. In Paris, down he went. I think Technico was trying to do everything he could to fight out of that power bomb, but it wasn't really to be. Both men suffering on the back of that, and you can see because neither man's able to follow up. Referee applying a count. If this goes to a draw, of course, neither man will be rehired and both will be shown the door. Oh, a wild swing. Technico could avoid that easily and does it again. Like some short jabs, getting the better of David Paris. And in with the back elbow. Now Technico likes to generate offense by moving across the ring, using his velocity, his speed, his quickness. And a lovely German suplex, just dumps Paris right on his head. Folds him in half, goes for the cover. Close but not quite yet. Now Technico showing just how much he has improved. And of course Paris has been no slouch. He's been working away and training and getting better as well. He's not going to miss this opportunity to come back to W3L if he can. Technico driving him down. Goes for a split-legged moonsault. Beautiful move. This is surely going to do it. Oh no, so close though. Technico's saying should I finish him, but I mean easier said than done. Again, Paris, two-time heavyweight champion. And without kind of giving the result of the contest away, let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we would in later years hear from both of these men in W3L one way or another. Oh, and now Technico went for it, tried that top rope Hurricane Rana, but David Paris shoved him off, held on to the ropes, and nearly gets it. Technico landed really heavily. Paris saved himself there, that may have done it. He was going for that Texas Cloverleaf. He's used that to great success over the years. And he does, he's turned over El Technico, whose mind must be reeling because he went for that high risk move off the top and crashed face first pretty much down on that canvas. He's close to the ropes, but I don't know if he realises just how close he is. Oh, he's got an arm around them. He's having to make the break. And oh, Paris thinks he's won. He thinks the referee was telling him he's won, and he's wanting his hand raised. Paris thinks that he has been reinstated. He's not won the match yet, and this is giving Technico precious seconds. Oh, hold on, goes with the roll up, folds him in half, and El Technico scores the pin. El Technico has just pinned David Paris and is officially rehired by W3L. Paris cannot believe it. He thought he'd got the submission with that Texas Cloverleaf, but he wasn't paying attention. Referee raising Technico's hand. It is now official. The masked man will be reinstated to the Worldwide Wrestling League. And of course, over the years we've seen the great things that he would do. Paris, I'm pretty sure he is not happy. Well, he isn't looking. He's going after the referee. But the fact of the matter is, Paris has lost to El Technico, and Technico's made an enemy this day, because you know Paris does not want to let this lie and will not. And again, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't, but that's for another day. And David Paris He came back intending to be reinstated to W3L. He lost to the lesser experienced Matt. Hey, look at this. A bunch of wrestlers coming out, including Mike Musso, Paris' arch nemesis. We've got Nathan Reynolds, we've got Taylor Bryden. And they want to make sure he's out. Because, of course, ladies and gentlemen, let's not forget that David Paris isn't part of the W3L roster. He was only hired for one match. That match is now over. He is no longer part of W3L. And so he is not welcome in the building. And they're marching him to the fire exit. And they've thrown him out. He's been shown the door. David Paris is gone from W3L. And El Technico has been reinstated.
El Technico overcomes David Paris. He would be rehired to the Worldwide Wrestling League. David Paris was flung out the fire exit. However, he would eventually make his return as well. We'll be hearing more from him in the weeks to come here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind. But as I said, of course, we'd love to bring you live wrestling as soon as possible. Currently, it's not going to happen, but these are the dates we have penciled in. They originally scheduled for April last year, but we've had to reschedule them a couple of times. Original tickets are still valid and will remain so keep holding them if you've got them. These again are subject to change, but we'll let you know when we know, but currently this is what we are working with. Crafty Connoisseur, of course, will be back as our live event sponsor when we are up and running. Make a purchase from them. Check them out, tell them that we said hello. If you're making a purchase, you might as well buy yourself a cool t-shirt. We've got loads of different designs. They are well worth getting. When you're wearing them, you can then watch stuff on the W3L box office. Again, full live events. We've got compilations, a documentary as well. Mike Musso's Bitter Truth podcast has done a deep dive, as I believe it's known, into Resurrection and the inaugural Resolution event. I'm sure there'll be more, he and Kieran Swinney, as the weeks go on. So check them out. They're fantastic. Listen, you get behind the scenes information about these events. It's good to watch the event and then listen to what Mike had to say about them. Also buy a fan support package. Again, prices begin at $5. You get a whole bunch of cool things. You can see it there on the screen, and it just helps you help us until we're able to be up and running properly like every wrestling promotion in the UK wants to be doing. So sooner rather than later, fingers crossed for live wrestling, but we shall see what happens. And of course, hit subscribe, and you can support us by watching Wrestling Showdown every single week here on the network. To buy those t-shirts or the fan support package, you should check out our website. It's W3LWrestling.com. Make your purchase there and sign up to the mailing list while you're at it. Give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join us on Instagram, subscribe, as I've already said multiple times, to this channel. One button click, all it takes, etc, etc. Use that hashtag. El Technico returned, wasn't he good? And David Paris, again, we'd hear more from him in the future, but we'll be covering him in the coming weeks here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind. Tell us what you thought. Engage with W3L, because we're not doing much else, so we might as well engage with you. Hit us up on Twitter and tell us what you thought of this week's match. And then make your plans to return here in 7 days' time, because yes, next Sunday at 12 o'clock I'll be dipping back into the W3L archives. I'll be bringing you another classic contest from the Worldwide Wrestling League, and it's going to go down right here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind.